Hi there, everyone. We're here again to talk about some old maps. Today's video is dedicated to my dear friends Chloe and Brian, and the map I'm going to be featuring is a gift I'm going to be giving them for their wedding. So this is an 1872 edition of a map of Africa by William Mackenzie. William Mackenzie is a cartographer that was active mostly in Edinburgh, London, and Dublin, and published various maps and informational natural science books for general consumption. People very interested in that at the time. His maps were very informative, not too much decoration or creative liberties taken, and they were very widely published. So it's a pretty popular map for that time. He was a really successful businessman and cartographer, and he was quite prolific in the late 19th century. It was said that a lot of Scottish homes were not complete without a William Mackenzie Bible. Part of this success came from creating mass market prints. And part of this came from this patent that we have here from 1859 of an improved method of printing impressions. So he invented a more efficient type of printing press for creating these mass market informational paperbacks such as encyclopedias, Bibles, botanical prints, et cetera, et cetera. And that's really what gave him his success and why this is a common map you might see today. And so there's two things that make this map particularly interesting. First of all, many of the names that the English-speaking world would know different areas in Africa by had not yet been agreed upon. What we can see here is a few names for regions that we might not see today. Most notably, the Congo River is labeled the Livingstone River, which is a pretty strange difference from what we know as now. We can also see that the borders of the lakes of East Africa aren't really agreed upon. And up here, a large region of the Sudan is labeled Sudan or Nigritia, which is a name for the region that didn't really take off. Besides that, we can also note that this map is in 1872, which is right when Africa is being contested by a lot of colonial powers. North Africa has already been colonized by the French, the British, the Ottomans, and the Moroccan polity has been recognized as the state. So we see a lot of European style demarcation up there. We see the same story down in South Africa. This is before the Confederation of South Africa and the Boer War, which was fought across the region and transformed it into the state and region we know today as a part of British colonialism. At this point, we can see that Cape Colony, a British colony, is contesting and pushing inland into the area that had been previously already colonized by the Dutch. Both the Orange Republic and Transvaal represented Dutch colonies, whereas interestingly enough, the Zulu kingdom is labeled as its own state. We don't see any evidence of the modern states of Swaziland or Lesotho, which would be carved out of this region as well. It's quite a different arrangement of country borders than we would be used to now. This 1872 map really shows the setup for the First and Second Boer Wars that would reshape this region and eventually lead to the independence of South Africa. What we have here are Dutch republics created by Dutch settlers that had been pushed inland by the British. In these regions, valuable minerals such as gold and diamonds would soon be discovered, causing the British to attempt to annex these republics in just a few years from the creation of our map in 1877. This, in turn, would lead to the First Boer War, which the Dutch republics would win, creating an unstable situation of power that would eventually set up the Second Boer War, which had a far larger scope and much, much, much higher casualty counts. The Second Boer War would end in the independence of South Africa and the establishment of a co-rule between the white British and Afrikaans over the black African indigenous population, who would be repressed under the eventual apartheid system. Thanks for joining. Hope that map taught you a little bit about African history, and see you guys next time.